need bright colours mood today. It's got a pink in it.
Oh, I love the sounds of that as well. It's the way in which the paintbrush is going across the paper.
Yeah, the swishiness.
Right, I'll pause this. So I think that's... And here we are in Hovvingham. Hovvingham, that's a holiday for me, coming across to Hovvingham. And here you are in the new studio at Ione. Thank you very much for the volunteering as one of our conscripts to talk to the virtual walkers who love to see local talented people and get a little glimpse of their studio and their creativity. So thank you for volunteering to do this. New studio,
yes, it's great. I've only been here since the beginning of March, and exciting time. I'm enjoying the space and the light, and
and you've got some beautiful landscape work up at Danby as part of the Art of Being exhibition, which I saw last week. What an exhibition! Have you been to see the whole exhibition?
I have to confess I haven't yet, and the reason is I'm actually there the weekend of the 10th. So
you'll be
the 10th of May, yes.
And you'll see it all
because I'm doing a workshop there then. So
it'll be an amazing experience because I saw it all come together.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of the reactions from people, and it's very challenging.
Yeah.
But it's also very positive. And it's fantastic to see how people have used art to help them get through some of the most challenging of times.
Yes.
What are you doing with that piece there now?
What am I doing? So I'm basically I've put some masking fluid on to preserve the white paper, and then what I'm doing is just putting some paint on. We'll see what happens. So I quite like to work with bright colours. I find bright colours really sort of simultaneously kind of uplifting, and also they can be quite sort of like, that's fine, it happens all. I think one of the things with watercolours, you have to embrace mess.
Embrace mess.
You have to embrace accidents.
Yeah.
Hopefully happy, sometimes not so happy, but anyway. You have to embrace the accidents, and you have to be happy with mess.
I love that. Embrace the accidents.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Stretch that.
So well.
All the sounds of painting. Yeah. So.
Look at this. Ione, thank you very much for inviting us to your wonderful new studio, which you've been in for a short while. And thank you for volunteering to talk with us for the virtual walkers. And I'm amazed at what you're doing now, because I have got no artistic talent for things like that whatsoever. What are you doing?
What I'm doing is, I put some masking fluid on this painting, which means that I'm preserving the white of the paper. And I don't know if you can see that, but I'm preserving, it's just some kind of cow parsley sort of shapes. And then that means that over the top of that, we can paint really freely, which is what I love to do. And so I'm just letting the watercolour flow across the page, splattering it on.
That's beautiful.
Splashing it on.
One of my virtual walkers who's in Mickle Hill is a very keen watercolour painter herself.
Oh yeah.
And she likes to know from artists, do you leave the paper white when you're working on something like a sky, or do you always add colour to it?
I think that depends very much on the how much of focus the sky is. So I would usually put something in the sky.
Yeah.
And yes, but I think leaving white in a painting is actually really important.
Yeah.
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 I think sometimes people, like for example, this painting here, I would be quite happy if this bit stays white.
Yeah.
And some of this stays very pale. I think that's really important. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes people think I have to fill every space, every
Yeah.
bit of the, oh, what should I put in that bit? It's
Yeah.
just like the space speaks.
The space speaks.
So it's kind of like silence, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need the quiet in
Yeah.
the painting and the silence in the painting, as well as the sort of the noisy,
Yeah.
vibrant bits.
That's a really good tip for her, Ione. I shall let her hear that, because she'll trust you saying it. She's asked me and I hadn't got an answer for her, but there I've got an answer from you.
Yeah.
So we've got an exhibition, The Art of Being, at Danby, which we're going to take people through, and I'm going to lead them through the doorway, and we'll go past the big hug. We'll see Janie's stone, we'll see Sarah's sad panda, and then we come to a whole collection of your beautiful watercolours in the corner. Do you want to let us know a little bit about you?
Yeah, absolutely. So the paintings that I've got at Danby, so all of those are inspired by the moors, by the North York Moors. The moors has always been a place for me that I've found very, very inspiring. I love the space, and I suppose it's similar to the white bits in the painting for me in some ways, is that sense of space is really important in order to let your, well, I'm going to use the word soul, let your soul speak. So, so that sense of space, I think, is really, really important. So I try and get that into paintings. The paintings that I've got there, as I say, are inspired by the moors. I try not to think about a particular place. Those paintings are all inspired by a feeling, the atmosphere of the moors, and that sense of peace, I suppose. I mean, they're not always a peaceful place, the moors. They're often very sort of, quite challenging to be in terms of the weather. But for me, they do hold a real sense of sort of peace, and I think it's to do with that sort of sense of space. So that's what I try and convey in the paintings. In terms of the process, I like to work very loosely and very freely, and that also to me allows the feeling to come through rather than being focused on, well, that has to look like that hill or whatever it is that you're painting that's in front of you. I do also sketch initially first, quite loosely, to just, again, that's about responding to the landscape rather than trying to paint that particular feature.
That's fantastic, because I looked at your paintings and your sketch, thinking about the sketching that you'd done in the lead up to something like Solid Air, and I could imagine the feeling that I would have in response to the landscape in quite a number of different locations. And I think that's what you're saying there is really, really quite interesting, that you're not trying to capture the whole of Horkham, or you're not trying to capture, you're trying to capture the spirit of the moors.
That's it, and it's about simplifying and reducing things down, I think, to their essence. I think that's what I'm really sort of interested in.
Yeah.
Keep dotting paint on. It's quite nice. I can just do this without really thinking about it.
So as we go around the exhibition in Danby, It's impressive how open people have been about how art has helped them with challenges, personal, family, relationship, and how art has really helped them through that. Do you want to share a little bit of that with us, Ione?
Yes. So I've always painted. I've been professionally I've been a teacher, and have come to painting quite often. Tried to be a bit more professional about it, in the sense of trying to make a living from it, and then sort of step back because I haven't been able to make it takes a lot of work, as anyone who's a professional artist will tell you. But about where are we now? 2025. Yeah. So this really has to do with my family, and I'm going to talk about my son, who was really the catalyst, really, for me getting back into painting in a serious way. So he's 25 now. He's just come out having been sectioned for 4 years, and the lead up to that was incredibly sort of difficult for the family, and to the extent that there were times when I didn't really know how I could carry on. Mm-hmm. And that's when I really thought, I have to do the creative act. I have to paint, mm-hmm. because otherwise I didn't know how I was going to survive, frankly. So and it's obviously not easy to talk about that, although we're in a much better place now, all of us. But just having that for me, it's like a language. So when you paint, it becomes a way of expressing things that you can't actually express, and it becomes its own language. And people don't need to understand the words or the symbols or whatever it is you're painting, I think, to understand the feeling of what it is that you're trying to convey. And so getting that sense of peace, that sense of solace, for me in painting was really, really important. Mm-hmm. So, and it did feel like a way back to myself. Mm-hmm. It does have a happy ending, in the sense that now, we're all in much better place. We actually have a relationship again, mm-hmm. To the extent that we actually played Dungeons and Dragons online.
Good.
Together.
Yeah.
So, so I would like to say that for anyone else with those kind of challenges, there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's been incredibly difficult for all of us, but we've had a lot of support, and we're all in a much better place, and I'm in this beautiful place physically, and
you're
very thankful,
seeing the hope in the work that you're doing.
Yes.
You showed me as I came into the studio the print of it, and just let me see that.
Yeah, so this is not finished also.
Yeah.
This is very much not sure what I'm going to do with it next.
I love the way you were talking about that, because I'm not too sure what this is going to turn into, and the way that you've spoken about what you've been going through with the family and your son, and you think, here you can escape. And if things aren't working out too well, or the way that you thought they were, you can always see there's still something that is going to be really, really impressive coming out of that. And there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is hope from what you come to. So even though you're experimenting with that, I love that, by the way. I think that's fantastic. Because it does capture that soul of the moor, which is changing in the landscape, changing in the light throughout the day, and being able to work through those things in your own feelings and have time to do it, and time to think about other things as you do that. Art's exceptional, and if you've got the talent, you use it.
Yeah, well, I would steer away from that word talent. I think that's something really important also, is that I lots of people say things like, oh, you've got such, to anyone who paints, oh, you've got such talent, but I think a lot of the time you know, anyone can do this. I really do think that, and I think anyone can find a sense of peace and being absorbed in something outside themselves when they're painting. And that is, I think, for me, one of the joys of doing workshops.
Okay.
With
so
people.
your message to my virtual walkers is get out and do it.
Just get out and do it.
Don't just observe it, do it.
Don't observe
there
it.
We
just
are.
Do it. I'll show you my very messy sketchbook.
Oh, good. The very messy sketchbook.
This doesn't come out often because this is just right. Here we go. Look, really messy.
Being messy. I'm going to focus in to Ione's. I can't even say it. Ione's beautiful messy sketchbook. And you were sketching as you left Danby and you came over the moors.
So this
and
is sort of moors, you know, look so messy.
Oh.
But what it does, hopefully, is it does convey a sort of like an energy of the place. This is
I
what
love that,
you know for sketching. So I think there I've actually used a bit of colour, but you know, it's just because I have some coloured pencils to hand. It's fine.
Because I've been doing.
You get the idea, yeah. So the idea is just to pick up something that you've got to hand and not say. I think it's really important not to be stuck on the idea of replicating something, but just to paint your response to it. And colour for me is really important as well, as you can see.
I'm just going to zoom down onto that colour. That's beautiful.
Get the colours working, get the toothbrush out.
And I'll So here we are in Hovingham, towards the south of the national park, and you've got a whole playground of the national park and the coast that we've got from here within easy striking distance of an hour or so. So what might be a favourite place for you to visit and why?
Oh, so many places, aren't there, in the moors? So many wonderful places. I think the coast in particular, Brunswick Bay, is
Brunswick Bay.
It's one of my favourites. One of the things I really love about the coast here, especially, is how it's always in movement. How it's always, you know, you've got the sea moving. It's always different. Yeah. You know, it never stays the same, does it? And that's not just to do with the weather and the light, but just the fact that the sea just exposes new things. It feels like every time you go, it looks different. So that's one of the things that I really love about it. And obviously the sort of the elemental sense of where sea meets land is always special, I think.